should be live with a Duel Links ban list. Feels like it's actually been that long since the last one, honestly. When was the last one? There's no way it's been 3 months since the last one, right? No way. The last Duel Links ban list, actually. No. Let's go through my videos, actually. What was the last ban list? When did I do one of these last? I swear it wasn't that long ago. Yeah, it says streamed 1 month ago. It can't be more than like a month and a half at max. When actually was it? 2 months ago? Nah, it can't have been. It's been about a month and a half at max. That's actually kind of ridiculous. Hey, no spoilers in chat, please, guys. No spoilers. I see there's a skill ban list though, which is kind of nice to see. I always like when they do skills as well. A lot more exciting when they actually do skills. Let me get a no spoiler thing on screen. I also don't have one right now. No spoilerinos in chat. I'm not even gonna fix the typo, we're just gonna leave it there. We'll keep the typo there. Alright, we'll start in just a bit once we get a few viewers in. Don't want to have to go over it twice, and these are generally pretty short little reactions, like 30 minutes for max, so... Right, actual 15 minutes of the actual reaction, so... Just don't read them, smile. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll just avoid the chat completely. Yeah, the kahat. Dude, I don't even know like how qualified I am to do these ban list reactions anymore. Because I have been following Duel Links like a bit, but I'm not gonna lie, this last month has probably been the least active I've been in Duel Links like ever. If you're wondering if I'm gonna actually spend money on the new structure deck, by the way, it's actually no. This will be the first time in the history of Duel Links I won't be buying a structure deck. I do not give a fuck about it. They're going to have to release a pretty decent box that needs that structure deck for me to put money into it. I will not be buying that box. Brad Asses here, A. Lamau. I saw Brad upload a prediction ban list video or something. Soil Lies are trying to predict a ban list. Is that what I read, or was that an actual ban list video? Oh god, I hope that's a prediction video. Oh, the suffering. The misery. Whatever, well, let's go, hey. At least you got your predictions out there. I just assumed, because I saw the KC Cup results were like 50-50, D&D, and the other one was fucking, what do you call it, Burning Abyss. So I assume Burning Abyss and D&D will be hit, especially D&D since it's ancient. Burning Abyss will be surprising if they hit it too much. It's not, I say it's new, it's not that old, but they released a new card for it. So if they hit it too hard, it's kind of like, well, you just kind of gave content for it, you know? So I just assume those two decks are getting hit. Like, that's just what the KC Cup results were, so... Like, the KC Cup results looked like they were literally 50% each. It was like 5% other decks, so... it's gotta be something like that. Skill-wise, absolutely zero clue. Maybe the DD skill? If they hit the Burning Abyss skill, I'll be really annoyed, because there's no way that skill is the problem with that deck. There's no way. For the love of God, don't hit one of my favourite skills in Duel Links. That skill's so fun. Just yeet your opponent's banish pile, Lamau. There's no way they'd hit that. I'd be so absolutely triggered. Destiny Draw would be a nice hit, because I call for that every ban list, but it's not going to happen. But at this point, they're not going to do it. How many got 131? A little bit more. We'll get a little bit longer. Give it like another minute or so. You mean Draw Sense high level? That's the DD. Really? Oh. Actually just playing Levianeer now? Oh. Did not see that. Actually did not notice that. I thought they were still using the... Really? Let me go look at the KC Cup results. I won't look at the deck list, but I'll look at the, what skills they were running. I should have it open. So... KC Cup... DD... No, they're all playing Command. Commander of the Doom King. Yeah, they're playing Commander of the Doom King. Oh, the BA skill? Wait, did BAs cut the fun? The fucking... Ah, I see mostly Minds of the Planner. I see a couple of Draw Sense high level. I think the majority is Mind of the Planner. Actually, there's actually a bunch of high level. There's still a shit ton of Mind of the Planner though. A Destiny draw, of course, just because. Oh, sorry. Thank you, CB, for the 7 months. Sorry. Did I have the alert turned on? Did I just not hear it? I think my alerts are actually on at the moment. Oh, let's apologize for that. Thank you, CB, for... Oh, sorry, 12 months, sorry. That's not 7, it's 12. Jeez. Thank you, buddy. 12 months, god damn. Actually a year. Oof. Alright. Oh yeah, 140, that's good enough to start. Alright, let's take this off screen. Alright. So, predictions for this ban list. I don't have a whole lot. I just saw KC Cup results and saw BA and whatever it's called. I've forgotten the name of the other deck. I was just talking about it. Why am I pulling a blank here? It's a stupid deck name. Burning Abyss and fucking DDD. Okay. Burning Abyss and DDD 100% on here just because that's literally the entire KC Cup, so if they're not on there, it's kind of surprising. I don't think Burning Abyss will be hit too hard because they just released a new card for it. They don't generally do shit to decks that, you know, got new stuff, so I assume they'll be like, it's a little bit of a slap on the wrist and they'll be like a tier 0 format. But DDD, that's been around for 600 years. I think they did release a DDD card recently-ish, so... But no one cares about it, so let's be real here. That deck's probably getting nuked, and it's been here for like... been top tier at least for God knows how long, so... Yeah, and skill rebalancing, fuck knows. If they hit Mind of the Planner, I'm actually jumping off a bridge, so... Hopefully Destiny draw. Which will never be hit, but I'll call for it every ban list. Alright, what are we doing first, boys? Skill rebalancing, or are we doing card rebalancing? What do you want? Skills or cards? Which one are we doing? Generally want the most exciting one to be left to the last, so whichever one's the most boring. Skills or cards? Which one are we doing? I've been alive for too long, 12 months. Oh god. Not sure if depressing statement or not. Thanks for $2 there, buddy. Wait, are the cards more boring than the skills? Actually? Like, really? The cards are more boring than the skills? No, skill first? I think I was going with Brad's take. Brad's take is generally the more YouTuber mindset. So I think we'll ignore the chat and we'll do skills first. We'll go with the YouTuber mindset.
12 months? I've been alive for too long.
Thank you for the $2 there, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, we listen to Brad. Alright. Skill rebalancing. What do we got? Alright. What is this? Does anyone care about this? Alright. Command of the Doom King. Alright, sure. As the popularity and win rate of DD decks is rising, and they have got the potential to make the metagame stale, we're giving the skill that supports these decks a harder activation condition. What can they that's harder about it? They can't like make it so that it only needs DD cards or something, so it basically only runs DD cards. Ancient Gear. Does anyone care about this? We'll read that anyway. Alright. So bring up the before as well. So what are they changing? At the beginning of the duel, add pendulum zones to your field. Alright. The following effects can be used once per duel. Select one DD Doom King Armageddon from your hand, add it to your extra deck face up. Same stuff, okay. Then select one face-up DD Pendulum monster from your field and deck respectively, and place them to your pendulum zones. Okay. Then negate the effects of those cards on the end of your turn. Yeah, okay. This skill can only activate and be used if you begin the duel with a deck excluding extra that contains at least 5 DD Pendulum monsters. This... Wait, that's it? Sure. What does it currently run? I don't want to look at the current deck list on DLM because on Duel Links meta because that will give it away the ban list spoilers. But that doesn't sound that harsh to me. Did it normally run? Oh, negates your scales from deck until the end of your next turn. Was standby phase before and needs 5 DD pins. End of turn, not standby phase. So it means their follow-up's bad, right? But do they even care about follow-up? I thought they're just like an OTK deck anyway. I mean, turn 1's already garbage, so I guess it just makes it so they can't really summon on turn 1 anymore. So the whole point of the negating the scale thing was just to make sure their scales don't reduce, because it kind of fucks you on the following turns. So if you scale Origin deck, you can't use the pop back row. Okay, nice. So it's basically, is it only targeting the Orthos thing? So I swear the negate effect was like mostly to do with just trying to make it so that your scales didn't reduce, because the scales like go down in deities, right? So isn't having them negated for longer more of a buff for it than a nerf? I guess if it's just targeting the Orthos thing, that's kind of neat. Either way, is that the main thing I want to ask is the 5 DD pendulum thing actually relevant? Surely they just run like nearly 3 or 4 anyway. Like, surely they nearly like. No, they ran 6 in KG. That's what I thought. Because they have to have like. Okay, so first of all, you have to have the 2 different scales. That's like bare minimum, because that's how you do pendulum summoning. So it has to be minimum 2 scales. Then you're running Orthos for removal, so that's 3. Then you have to have like a boss monster, that's 4. And that even might be one. I guess it has to be different from the scales, but like, there's no way they weren't running at least like. What's the point in that? Like, what? The actual first effect, I'm actually super curious on how much of a nerf this is. Because I swear they were mostly like the reducing the level, the negation thing was to stop the like level reduction stuff. If that's only to negate the Orthos now, doesn't that mean the level reducing thing doesn't get affected as much anymore? Maybe it does. I don't know. I haven't played Pendulum Deity in God knows how long, so either way. Not really sure how much this makes the deck nerfed, so I'm hoping the card nerfs are a bit harsher than this. I guess to be fair, they didn't want to like nerf the skill too much, because then the deck just disappears, so. Alright, we spent too long there anyway. Here comes the fun skill. Wow, 4 fun? Alright, this better be a solid buff. Alright, what even was it before? Each of the following effects can be used once per turn. We'll just read the buff, whatever. Each of the following effects can be used once per turn and twice per duel. Okay. During this turn, you can normal summon a set Ancient Gear Golem or Ancient Gear Golem power without tributing. Alright, cool. If you control Ancient Gear Golem, set 1. Each of the following effects can be used. Okay. If you control Ancient, set 1 polarization to your field from outside of your deck. At the end of this turn, return that card to the bottom of the deck. This skill can only be used if you begin the duel with a deck excluding extra deck that contains at least 12 level 8 or lower Ancient Gear monsters and no monsters other than Ancient Gear monsters. Right? So what is the change? I wish I'd highlight the change, makes it easier for me. Alright, so that didn't change. What was the change here? Now read the thought and try to spot the change. Alright, hang on. We can do this. I can do this. Alright, I'll find it. During the end phase of this turn, return that card to the bottom of the deck. At the end phase of this turn, return that card to the bottom of the deck. I mean, there's a change there, but is that can't be the change, right? What? No longer vary? What? This isn't real. Wait, what? What does that mean? What? What did I read? No longer vary? Oh, oh god, that's gonna be such a good meme. It's no longer vary. Vary was too open. What does that mean? Konami, please explain. What do you mean? It's no longer vary. What does that mean? Oh. I'm in fucking tears. What is that? That's not a real change. What the... Alright, cool. Yep, actually, you're right. It's actually a ban for Versa Anaconda for the next upcoming ban list. Oh my god. No Destiny draw, by the way. Alright, now we've got that great meme out the way. Let's actually see the ban list. Wow. What the fuck, Konami? Alright, we have, of course, the rare being hit, not a shock. Rare cards are looking more likely to be hit than the ultra exciting cards. Limited to one. This which card which even was this? Was it just one of the scales? No, the scales are shit. The fact I don't know what this card does means it probably wasn't the strongest part of the deck. Do you even care about this one being hit? This gave you easy access to Coach King turn on? Alright. Okay. No more draw 3, I guess. In fact, I have no idea what this card... I actually paid zero attention to what the fuck that deck did. That means you don't play the game anymore and don't need more content? True, actually. Seems pretty irrelevant, and again, it was a rare anyway. It's probably like, to be fair, this card was probably like one of the only rares in the deck, so I didn't have much of a choice. It's like, alright, what do we hit? That one. Sure, whatever. Now here's a bit more relevant of a hit. I definitely know what this card does. This is the main searcher for the deck, so this is a much more relevant hit. Limited 2. If they put any other card in the deck that's like core to limit 2, this deck is like gonna get hella hit. Okay, this card is core as fuck, so if there's any other card limited 2 in here, it probably doesn't make the cut anymore. It disappears because you can't run less of this card. This card is the searcher for it, right? I assume it's the searcher. I didn't even read it. I assume it was the searcher card. But that looks silly if it wasn't. Yes, it's a searcher card. It's a searcher card. Thank God. I was making sure. Because I know there's two of these that look very, very similar. Alright, so this one's a lot more... The first one, I don't give half a shit about this. I don't know if it was actually a massive hit or not. Don't care. This one much more relevant. If anything else is limited to 2, it's dead. 7 was 360% decks. Alright, so good to see this actually was a limited worthy hit, I guess. But I don't really think this is like what's going to kill the deck. This one, on the other hand, if anything else is core that's limited on this list, it may die, so... Anything else? Oh. Alright, so I guess that's just the consistency. Not gonna lie, I kind of dislike these kinds of hits. Hits that are like, hey, we're just gonna reduce the consistency of the deck so it's more bricky, so your deck's just no longer as fun. I prefer when they nerf things actually like like there's just core strengths to the deck rather than being like, hey, you can just brick more often now, smile. Alright. That's really fun gameplay, watching your opponent brick, and really more fun gameplay when you brick. I was really hoping they were doing this hit because they wanted to remove a card from the deck, not just, you know, reduce consistency a bit. I guess this hit must be harder than I think it is, otherwise this wouldn't do too much. So I assume this hit actually must be solid. From what I see in the chat, people seem to be thinking this is a solid hit, so maybe it is. I don't know. I just don't know what the fuck this card does. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't pay enough attention to this deck, so... Alright, let's see what the limit 3s are. Maybe the limit 3s will try to remove something. Skill Prisoner? Skill Prisoner? What? Was Burning Abyss actually using this? Actively? Like a lot? You can send this to BA, send it with a Beatrice? I guess it was, yeah, I assumed it was in BA, but like, was it needed to be hit? Do they really just not want to touch Burning Abyss that hard they hit the Skill Prisoner? Makes more sense when you scroll down. They just want to cut it from the deck? Shouldn't just want to cut it from the deck, right? Yeah, okay, fair. So kind of an odd nerf. I guess like I did say at the start, I thought Burning Abyss wouldn't get hit too hard because it just got support for it. So if they wanted to make like an excuse to ban something, I guess this is a good way to get something out of the deck. Still kind of weird though. It makes sense though, because this is like a good way for them to be like, oh yeah, we nerfed the deck, smile. But they really just got rid of like, okay, cool. Someone go on Duel Meta right now. Look at the top KCGT decks and tell me how many were running this card in the top 100. So I doubt it was all of them. I'd be pretty surprised. No more Levy? True. Big true. A lot were running Levy. According to Mr. Brad anyway. But it doesn't affect the ones that aren't using Draw Sense high level anyway, which there were plenty. I mean, I guess I could just look up myself. I do have it open. What the fuck is it? Skill Prisoner, right? BA. Skill Priz. How many are running it? Was it like nearly all of them? Maybe they all were. Were they all running it? Oh, 20%. 20% overall played one. Yeah. Okay, sure. Cool. I think this is more of a cop-out kind of a nerf though. I don't think it really matters. Which is fine, because like I said, they just released BA support, so... they wouldn't want to hurt it too hard anyway. I think the main thing is it removes Lavinia builds too, which is also nice. So that means people are actually going to play Mind of the Planner skill. So, sure, whatever. And now it updated for me. But it's like fucking none of them were running it. I don't know, I guess 20% is, yeah, whatever. Sure, that's fine. This deck is definitely going to live on. Definitely going to live on. This deck's fine. Actually, no one cares about these hits. Unless you're a dirty Lavinia player. Alright, moving on. Next we have... Fusion Reserve is no longer limited. Didn't people only play this for Alistair? Is this like... was this the Alistair card? What are we using this for? Do we care? Like, why'd you even use this with Alistair? Like, I just remember people, there was some kind of invoked deck that used this at some point. So what are we actually using this for? Who cares? I guess that's why it's no longer limited. Sure. Fusion decks, smile. I shouldn't be talking too much shit about fusion decks. Then we have like Metal Foes or some shit. That's currently top tier. It is, right? Yeah, it is. It's like Pendulum anyway. Who gives a shit? Cool, we got a trap card nobody cares about. Yeah! How about we unlimit that one Cyber card that's still on there? How about that? Can Surge Elemental Hero Clayman? Oh my god, you're right. You're right, buddy. How did I miss that? Such an important unlimit. You're right. The Dark Magician True. That actually is something that I remember. People were using it, but that's like... that's some copium for Dark Magician players. Where's Rod, huh? Where's my Rod unlimit? That's what I'm talking about. Where's my Rod unlimit? Is this the Dark Magician buff that we needed? Biggest train's been 5 months and still haven't buffed the Master Paladin feud. Mate, I don't know what you mean. They might as well just add the, maybe they need to put the vary on that. Since apparently vary is what breaks skills according to the skill rebalancing. They just need to stick the word vary in there somewhere. This is still the dumbest thing I've ever seen in Duel Links. What is this? They just removed the word vary. That's beyond silly. Alright, well. Thoughts, chat? Any thoughts? What do you reckon? Was this a decent ban list? I'm seeing D&D got kind of dicked, but no one's gonna care about the beer hits too much. I have to, how significant is this hit actually? This is the only one that I need like thoughts on. How significant is this hit? This one I'm pretty disappointed on because I feel like they had a good chance to like cut something from the deck here by just putting something else limited to 2. This is just a consistency change and they suck. There's like, it's a hit that will hurt the deck, don't get me wrong, it's just a boring hit. Like someone that plays D&D is now going to have less fun because they're going to brick more, and someone that versus this deck will have less fun because their opponent's going to be bricking, because brick games are boring as shit. So consistency hits like this are shit unless they actually come with something else, otherwise it just makes games more boring. So how much is this a hurt? Is this a deck killer, putting this at 1? Is this actually a deck killer? Because if this one doesn't matter, then the deck's going to be more bricky and just more boring. That's literally just a shit ban list for me then. If this being limited to 1 doesn't matter at all, which I assume it doesn't really matter, it doesn't seem that strong of a card. Apparently it was just used to like, to get something back easier or some shit. It's like, no. It seems like it won't do much. No, still tier 1. Yeah. So far, I'm looking at this balance and it seems shit. It seems like nothing much happened. We did hit D&D a bit, which is fine. Maybe they'll drop in power level, which is nice, I guess. Doesn't look like they're going to be killed completely, though, or like even removed from meta. Which, to be fair, like, I guess they should have done a pretty nasty hit looking at like competitive results, because KC Cup, there was like a 50-50 split of D&D and, yeah, Burning Abyss. But like, so I guess they needed to try to make things more diverse, but I guess like the top tiers is pretty diverse at the moment. It's always changing. Like, it's always changing. D&D seems like the only deck that's been around for quite a while now. Everything else in top tiers is like popping in, popping out. I see there's fucking Necros is top tier. When did that happen? Like, actually, when did that happen? I've been paying a little bit of attention to the Duel Links. I don't remember the last time I saw a Necros deck. Like, that's actually top tier now? Like, when the fuck did that happen? Either way, it just shows how like diverse the meta is, like how it's easy to get like kind of pop in and out, so. Yeah, even that's a question mark for me. Like, when did that happen? Necklace just for KC Cup? Where? How often? I guess there was actually 5 global. I mean, I guess, sure. Maybe it just only works in best of 1 format or some shit. Otherwise, I don't really remember it being that strong when I played against it, so. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, it was my last video or the video before, I did a recording, and one of the gameplays was against the Necros deck, and I think I either cut the replay, or I might have included it, but I remember when I recorded, I was like, oh god, do I use this replay? It's only against fucking Necros, and they suck. Like, that was in my head in one of my recent videos, because I was like, I didn't want to use the replay, because I don't really like using off-meta too often, because it's like, people want to see me beat meta decks with new decks, not be just beating some scuff deck, so I guess that's more relevant now. What a strange ban list. Alright, well, yeah, overall thoughts, I'm pretty disappointed with it, but then again, I didn't really expect much to be banned anyway, so there's not really much to be, like, disappointed about. It's like, okay, sure. I just hoping something more exciting was on here. And maybe a D&D hit that was more, like, power level focused rather than consistency focused, because consistency focused, like I said, is boring as shit. Just makes things more bricky, and bricky games are lame, so. And this nerf's pretty irrelevant, just puts D&D more into, like, sorry, it makes Burning Abyss more, like, Burning Abyss focused. It removes the Vioneer, and it removes this card that, like, 20% of people are running anyway, so who cares? Whatever. Maybe some unbans would have been nice. Just stick Rod on here, it'd been great. It's Okay, next BANLIST pre-arranged in September will be huge copium. Hey, maybe it'll be quicker than that. This BANLIST was only a month and a half of in like. Why was there only a month and a half between BANLIST? This is so weird. Either way, cool. I guess Brad was predicting one, so he knew. Does this mean Master Duel's gonna be BANLIST too? Smile. Might try PK Fire. A lot of people were trying that, right? So I don't really know. Duality free evasion, free Invoker is back. Invoker is back. Smile. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too convinced it's that exciting. Either way, we're gonna end it here, boys. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, that's about it. I don't know what else to say. Thank you all for watching. Oh, am I gonna make a video on the new structure deck? Hell no. That looks like the biggest pile of. Okay, I'm not joking. This structure deck, there is no way in hell. Like I don't like to like rule things out before they're released normally, but without more box support, this looks like the biggest heap of garbage ever. Like it seems like okay, you can make a cool combo with Ruddy Rose, and you can remove stuff. Now, all right, cool. On turn 1, I was like, so the whole goal of this deck is you can make this card more consistently on turn 1. And I was thinking, can't we just make like board wiping nukes turn 1 consistently in like 5 other decks? Like, what did this accomplish? It just means we don't have a turn 1 for a board nuking deck. I just don't see it. It seems really bad. It like maybe I'm like completely out of touch on dueling so much that like I don't understand, but this seems so bad. It just seems like we have no turn 1, here's a board nuke deck, which we can make anyway. It was like, if this deck becomes like top tier or something, I'll be like surprised, because I feel like 5 other decks do exactly what this thing does. You know? Maybe I'm just completely out of touch with this. This card's a good card, don't get me wrong, this is a good card, so glad this is in the game at least. It's a good counter to Burning Abyss, so maybe, hey, maybe it'll just this will become tier 1 because it counters the tier 1 deck, you know? Cool. But the actual deck itself, like, I feel like the deck, if it does become playable, they won't even use the skill. The skill's like, makes this easier, but it means you have to just run only these cards, which is like, okay, I don't want to run only roses in my deck, what? I don't know. I think this seems like an absolute scam, and I'll be very surprised if the next box doesn't introduce stuff to make this less of a scam. Otherwise, this is going to make... Like, compare this... Because I saw Brad talking about it, and this is apparently taking the slot of the Gaia deck from last year. You know, the deck that's been, like... That's, like, if you play now, you're still going to cog with it. The deck that's been, like... That was top tier for a billion years and has received bans that targeted it as well. Like, there's no way... Like, they had skill, like, changes to, like, restrict it. This is taking the same slot as that. So if it's not, like, on the same power level, it's like, what?
Shut up, Mokuba.
Draw any card from your deck. This skill will only activate if your life points vary around 2,000 or less.
Some shitty Destiny draw meme? What is this? You gonna try and trigger me by giving me Destiny draw bans that didn't happen? Thanks for the $5, buddy. Whatever. Yeah, well, BANLIST review done. This was a tragedy. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna end the stream now. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. I'll probably have a video out later today or tomorrow. I want to do a limited 1 festival video, but I might do a meme video first. I don't fucking know. No video on this structure deck though. First time I've ever not done a video on a structure deck. It'll probably get me banger views if I did, but I just refuse to play it, so... Unlucky, I guess? Channel's gonna die? That's fine.